Ahoy Matey, there be whales in these deep waters. They be seeking some Bitcoin booty by the trunkload, and paying attention to what they be doing may be the key to the next here bull run. Warren Buffett knows a thing or two about booty too. He decided to load up his treasure chest, ya barnacles, with gold. That also could be big news for Bitcoin. And the digital dollar's finally in sight for the Fed as they begin to reveal their plans for the future of money. So much news, so much Bitcoin, so much booty. Walk the plank, shake your booty, and get in here for episode number 437 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
Who's bad?
Yard, Mr. Joelcom, welcome to the yard, to the Bad Crypto Podcast.
Oh, shiver me timbers there, my lad. How are you?
Aye, we'd be shivering.
Yo ho ho in a bottle of booty.
What'd you call me?
A bottle of booty?
No, you call me a hoe?
Yo ho ho.
Yo ho ho. Merry
Don't be
Christmas.
hoist.
All right.
Welcome, everybody, to the Bad Crypto Podcast. I'm surprised I have my voice after trying to pull off that pirate voice. The show for the crypto curious, the crypto serious, and the crypto whales, apparently, that are somewhere. You know, that's even better if you could see Travis's face as he's doing that. It's 10 times funnier than just the noise. We got a lot of news to cover for you today. Before that, just want to say my email box was loaded up with confirmations today, and I got confirmations of a number of you that have opened up your account with eToro.com, and you are claiming your $50 in free Bitcoin from us here at Bad Crypto. I'll be sending those out here over the next 24 hours. If you're not among that number and you're a U.S. citizen, what are you waiting for? I mean, this ain't gonna last forever. Nothing's forever. Nothing. Elvis died, so if Elvis can go, we're all doomed.
Dude, Elvis died like in his early 40s.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy.
Yeah, that's true. So you're healthy and you like the Bitcoins. Go to badco.in/eToro. Get your $50. You want to load up your account, then you verify that, shoot it over. All the stuff's on that link. badco.in/eToro. Go ahead and do it.
Yar! And now let's be looking at the news of the day. Timestamp August 19th in the year 2020. It's actually 8:34 p.m. Mountain Time on a Wednesday evening because Mr. Travis Wright will not be available to record Bad News on Thursday. And we're looking at CoinGecko.com, a $375 billion market cap. Bitcoin, $11,750. Ethereum, $410. XRP, 29 cents. Tether, 99 cents. Chainlink, $16.56. Bitcoin Cash, $292. At number 7 is Litecoin, just shy of $63. Cardano, 13 cents. Bitcoin SV at $207. And rounding out the top 10 is Binance at $22.47. And hot on its tail, Mr. Travis Wright, a nice little run for EOS at $341. I think during this week, we had a bit of a run where Bitcoin went over $12,000, has pulled back. EOS almost hit $4, and a number of cryptos had a nice week.
Yeah, there are some that had some nice weeks. So one of them is NXM, which is at $51. It went up 158% in the past 7 days. Yearn.finance, they're up 122%. Reserve Rights Token, RSR. I hear a lot of people chirping about this on Twitter. And they're like, you can't believe when it's going to go moon. Reserve Rights Token, RSR is going to blow up. Like literally, we get tweets that all the time. It went up 118% this week.
You hear the chirping?
And I was like, OMG. And that token actually went up 103% this past week. Waves up 78%, Ren 56%, Ocean Protocol 43%, Quant 37%, Tron up 34%, and UMA, she was up 29%.
How do you know UMA is a she in this case? I mean, what?
Uma Thurman is the only answer there. Basic Attention Token up 24% too, and Lind up 26%. So those are some big ones popping.
Yep. We've got some downs as well. Nest Protocol, Numeraire, Bancor, Balancer, Ampleforth, Band Protocol, Compound, Tezos, Swipe, Elrond, Ziliqua, Kusama, all down for the week. Nothing.
Yeah, a lot of those are actually DeFi products.
Well, DeFi kind of pumped, right? And so there's definitely a lot of hype around DeFi right now. And for those who have forgotten, we are the DeFi DoFi because we don't know doof about DeFi.
But we got a dude who's not a DeFi who will be on and chatting about this here shortly.
Very, very soonly. So all this talk about whales and whale sounds, apparently there's something called whale clusters. And this is a lot of whales that are buying or selling at the same time, right? They're clustering together. And they're saying that large buyers bought in the $9,000 to $12,000 range. Those that bought at $9,000 are getting high profits, and those that bought at the top are the break even. And they believe that these clusters could result in volatile price action, where buyers and sellers aggressively try to break out from the $12,000 to $14,000 price range.
So these whale clusters are not actually beluga whales or great whales or any of that. Has nothing to do with Shark Week.
Nothing to do with pirates.
Pirates. Oh man, I'm very, very disappointed. However, 12 to 14,000 being a key area for Bitcoin in the near term sounds like pretty good news. That makes me want to do more whale sounds, but I think we've done enough for those. So you don't think we need to hear those anymore. But we are a little bit lower. We're a little bit under the 12K range right now. There was some Yahoo in our chat group, in our Blockchain Heroes room, was like, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going down to 600, going down to $600. I predicted everything last year. I told you. Like, okay.
I don't even know why you would draw attention to that type of Yahoo-ness.
Well, because he's a Yahoo, and I'm like, I just want to say, okay, Jimmy.
Comic relief. It wasn't Jimmy.
It wasn't Jimmy. No, it was somebody else.
Jimmy's okay. We like Jimmy.
Well, there's several Jimmys, but this guy was a Jimmy.
We like them all. We like all the Jimmys.
Okay.
But this guy was not a Jimmy at all. Who did call it correctly, and we're still would love to get him on the show. Kim.com predicted a couple of years ago that that Bitcoin would go up. He says that the U.S. dollar will become worthless. A U.S. economic collapse is imminent, and all old money currencies are going down. The big crash is coming 100%. And he said that Bitcoin is the future. Well, I mean, we said that too. He's not saying anything we didn't say.
Well, we have said, we talked about this time and time again. Buy Bitcoin, buy gold. We're not financial advisors, but probably not a bad idea, especially when the printer is going brrr, the U.S. dollar, they're printing. And people are believing that a U.S. economic collapse is imminent, and they think that this old money is going to go down. So hedge your bets, folks. That could happen. We never know what's going to happen, but we're going to see. We're going to see what's going down in this attack.
Well, both Bitcoin pulled back from its run, and I'm pulling up here to see what happened with gold. It went over $2,000. It's sitting as of right now at about $19.50. Silver is just shy of $27. So the precious metals are still holding from this run pretty well. And if you look at the chart for the US dollar, it's just like it's going. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense to sell any crypto into dollars right now, because if the value of the dollar keeps going down, and pretty soon it does become worthless. And
the only time maybe you need to do that is whenever you need to like pay some bills or something, like convert some cryptos to that. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is not Kim.com, but it's the picture of this. Like, it's like he's got the Bitcoin guy's face and him like, check out my crotch. And it's just, and then Kim.com's got a magnifying glass. I mean, and then he's got this other thing. I don't even know what it is, but it looks like he's checking out the Bitcoin guy's genitals. It's really weird.
It is a strange picture. What does he do? He's got like a laser on his wrist.
Is that what it is?
It's touching the Bitcoin's wrist.
I don't understand that picture.
I don't get that either. Could the artist at Cointelegraph please tell us exactly what's going on here in this photo?
He's all spread out. Look at him, and he's got his pointing his crotch at him.
You know,
He's got a little magnifying glass.
when you look at a Bitcoin with the two lines through it, it's like a double penis.
Yeah. It's like, check me out.
Double
I got
penis.
two of them. I'm double dong guy.
Double dong guy. DDG. Speaking of double dong guys, Warren Buffett's in the news here. And he apparently, his Berkshire Hathaway sold bank stocks to buy what? Gold. And people are saying that, well, that's going to indirectly increase the price of Bitcoin. Max Kaiser, who of course would say stack sats, is the one who is commenting on this.
Yeah, he says this. Global 100 trillion fund management business is less than 1% invested in gold. With Buffett now moving into gold, expect global allocation of 5% gold minimum implies $5,000 gold. Expect a 1% Bitcoin global allocation of 1 trillion. This implies $50,000 for Bitcoin. Expect PTJ, which I don't know what that means, ups to 10%. So I don't know what PTJ means. Praise the Jesus.
I don't think that's what that means at all. I don't know what it means. But Travis Kling, who is a portfolio manager in Ikage fund founder, said today it was announced Berkshire Hathaway just bought its first gold stock ever. The reasons are self-apparent at this point. Just in case you're wondering what the coming years are going to look like for Bitcoin, this was Buffett on gold in 1998. And so, you know, he's basically saying Buffett is lagging behind. He's been stocks, and now he's gone in on gold big time. So, you know, how far behind can Bitcoin be?
Well, when he's got billions of dollars to toss around, and if he's going 5% of his wealth going in the gold, just that, I mean, he's worth, you know, at least $50 billion. I don't know how much Berkshire Hathaway is worth on its own, how much money they're stacking, but if they're popping that much money in, that's several billions, like maybe 10, who knows how many billions is going to be moved into gold from just that one guy. And if there's going to 5% of his holdings in gold, then that could be a big deal.
Mm-hmm. So this article in Forbes by Jason Brett talks about how the Federal Reserve is now researching plans for the digital dollar, that they are being transparent, that they are looking into researching and experimenting with digital currencies and distributed ledger technologies. This is, you know, a no-brainer that this has got to happen. I would imagine that our government is paying attention to the fact that China is already rolling out, you know, a test pilot for the digital yuan. And since, the president's always talking about China being the one to fear, it seems like we need to be taking a look at this. However, at a recent hearing in the House of Representatives in response to a question from Congressman Tom Emmer, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell noted that he did not believe private sector involvement in the production of U.S. dollars would be trusted by the citizens. He said, I do think this is something that the central banks have to design. Of course he did. Quote, the private sector is not involved in creating the money supply. That's something the central bank does. Mm-hmm.
That's something the central bank does. Now, I'm adding this article right here, Mr. Joel Com, because I saw this one as well. And the Fed has partnered with MIT to develop a hypothetical digital currency. And so the Fed is investigating whether a central bank digital currency. What is that? I love how videos just pop up sometimes. That's always fun. They want to see if it's going to be safe and efficient for widespread use. And they're taking a look at this, and they're going to create this digital currency to maybe test and see how does it work. And so they're going to be able to gain some interesting information from that. And the Boston Fed president, Eric Rosengren, says they're trying to determine if they can meet the design requirements of a U.S.-based central bank digital currency. And they're going to spend some time and some money testing that, Mr. Joel Com.
It's coming, ready or not. There ain't no stopping it, gang. And the Fed isn't the only part of the U.S. government that's looking at blockchain technology. There's the controversy over mail-in ballots is happening right now. And the U.S. Postal Service is saying that, okay, we're going to look at a new blockchain patent for voting called the Secure Voting System. It's a quote filed like this: a voting system that can use the security of blockchain and the mail to provide a reliable voting system. A registered voter receives a computer readable code in the mail and confirms identity. That sounds like voter ID to me, and confirms correct ballot information in an election. The system separates voter information and votes to ensure vote anonymity and stores votes on a distributed ledger in a blockchain. Makes sense to me.
Dude, this was the very first thing that really got us talking about blockchain back in 2016, because there was all this stuff that was going on about it. And, did Russia do this or this and that? And all the craziness of the 2016 election, which seems like 2020 might even be more crazy. But we talked about it then, like, we need voter ID of some sort to prove that you're you. We need some sort of validation of these votes. I need to be able to make sure that I can see my vote somewhere on a blockchain. It doesn't necessarily need to be attached to my name, but I need to be able to see it somewhere that it's verified. And there are some valid concerns about this. I mean, if you look at it objectively and take out your bias that you have, there in multiple states, there's been 3 to 5, some states even 10% of undeliverable votes or ballots that never got to the people. Sometimes they're people who lived at this place 4 or 5 years ago are still getting ballots. And if somebody gets 5 or 6 ballots mailed to them and they're big on politics, what do you think they're going to do? Probably going to mail them out.
Now it doesn't happen.
It doesn't. There's no such thing as mailing.
The news told me that it doesn't happen. See, here's one of the problems is that people don't understand the difference between a absentee ballot and a universal mail-in election. And for those of you that don't know, because there's people I see on Twitter, they're like, we already have absentee ballots. What's wrong with mail-in? Here's the difference. You have to request an absentee ballot. You have to actually ask for it. Say, I, this individual with my name living at this address will not be able to vote in person at the election, as opposed to universal mail-in ballots, which is basically a couple 100 million ballots sent to every address in the U.S. Blank ballots sent out blanket to everybody. Huge difference, world of difference, worlds apart. And if you didn't know the reason why so many oppose that, and if you don't think that that is subject to be rife with fraud, then you got your head buried somewhere deep in the Sahara Desert, because
I could spend an hour doing deep research and find 25 instances of it.
Of course you could.
You can't. And what's interesting about it now is that the new ballots, actually, there's like a little punch hole in some of the states. There's a little punch hole. So whenever you fold your ballot in, it sees if it's red or if it's blue. And so if somebody has some bias in the process of picking up the mail and delivering to wherever the things are getting voted, if somebody has some bias in there and they see a bunch of these blue ones, and maybe they want to throw them away, or they see a bunch of red ones, maybe they want to throw them away.
What I want to know,
blockchain, you don't know if your vote ever made it into the system.
What happens to the hanging chads? Where do they go?
Chad is too busy hooking up with the Karens. So he. I
guess so. I guess Chad is a thing now. Somebody called me a neckbeard Chad the other day, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
Chad, being a Chad, is like the Chads get all the women.
Oh,
it started with Chad Thundercock.
Okay, but I don't even have a neckbeard. I mean,
you do kind of have a little bit of a neckbeard.
Not much. I mean, neckbeards go way down.
Oh, right, that's true.
Here, this is just like a normal beard. Well, speaking of Russians and hacking election, let's go over to what used to be part of USSR is now Ukraine. Apparently, big money laundering of $42 million. Binance and Ukraine captured cyber criminals. They have got them. They are locked up because of ransomware and money laundering operation. And now suspects are in custody.
Wow. So this criminal group has been laundering millions of dollars in crypto since 2018, when crypto was down low. Right? So imagine they got all their money laundering down there at the lows, and now here we are at near 12. So man, they made some profits, boy. But they're all in jail now. Yeah. So they've been laundering money, and Binance, it says that they said the suspects were all Ukrainian nationals, and they were arrested in June 2020, and they were primarily operating in Ukraine, but also involved in several cyber attacks on a global scale. And that's crazy. So good job. I guess Binance was working with the British prosecutors, working with some other people, and yeah, finding some cryptos and arresting the people who are doing bad stuff.
You do the crime, you pay the time. Assuming these were Ukrainian men means more beautiful Ukrainian women now available for you, Mr. Travis Wright.
For anybody who like to go to Ukraine, they've arrested all of these guys, and now there's more Ukrainians. Very good point. I will be back very shortly, Mr. Joel. I'm going to Ukraine now.
Go to Ukraine. Well, your not brother Turner Wright writes for Cointelegraph, and just a little bit to the west in Bulgaria, there is a startup, the Colibra app, not to be confused with Libra, and they are coming up with a method to pay passengers who experience a flight delay of an hour or more, adding crypto as a payment option. So you can actually get, if your flight is delayed too long and they're going to reward you, you can get Bitcoin payout, no matter what the reason for the airline provides.
There's some interesting times that happen whenever, somebody needs to get on a flight, you can get bumped, and they say, hey, we'll give you $200 worth of credit if you be bumped. Oh, whoop, maybe $500. Like they literally keep upping the ante until, they bump people. I don't think there's necessarily that happening as much now with not as many people on the flights, but yeah, I like this idea. Delay, pay me something, delight me with something good.
You like being delighted, don't you?
It's good.
It is.
What's the opposite of delighted?
Everybody likes to
disgruntled.
Disgruntled. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Disgruntled or delighted? What would you?
Hey, we were talking about this. So we talked a little bit about some government stuff. We talked about IDs. We've talked about this a lot in the past. Check out, Mr. Joel Com, what South Korea is doing. There are now more than 1 million South Koreans that have a blockchain driver's license, and they just launched this thing in May.
Wow. So this is a new form of digital identification.
Yeah. So they've foregone physical driver's license in favor of this blockchain-powered one that is in conjunction with the PASS smartphone app. So I guess, South Korea, they are super technologically advanced, and they're always sort of up in the ante on stuff. QR codes, they picked them up there, T9 texting and all this other stuff. Like, so much happens in South Korea. And here they are. They have 32.6 million licensed drivers, and now 1 million of them have a blockchain driver's license, digital ID that can be used throughout South Korea. And I think that's awesome.
They could use it for ID, for proof of age requirements. They can use it at retail chains selling cigarettes and alcohol. They show their license via a barcode or QR code on the app, and non-Korean residents get English versions of their licenses. They're looking at using them for rental cars, ride sharing, and using these IDs as a replacement for face-to-face verification checks. I am who I am.
I like this, but I don't like this. There's something I don't like about this that I would like to see optimized. So what happens if my battery's dead on my phone and I go, oh, my phone? Like, okay, well, we need to see your ID. I'm like, okay, well, give me a charger, right? How about give me a physical one that has that QR code on the back of it, so I can, if I don't have my phone with me, which would be rare, or my battery is dead, at least I can show it to you and you can scan it and connect it and see it.
This is why you're just making the case for being embedded with a chip, and that's what they're going to say, and that's how they're going to get people.
What we should do? Well, what if the battery in your chip dies?
Well, it won't. It'll be like an RFID or something that won't need a battery. Yeah. But they'll be able to read.
I love chips. I had some jalapeno crunchy chips that are
sour cream and onion dip.
I like French onion a little bit more, but it's good. Yeah. I do like some dips.
Nice. You know, it hasn't been that long since we interviewed Akon, who is busy building the cryptos Akon City in Senegal, and it is underway. It's a $6 billion project, and Akon wants to use crypto to empower Africans, beginning in Senegal, and they have started. Maybe we're going to have to go to Africa, Mr. Travis, right?
Yeah, they have, I believe, broken ground. So $6 billion crypto-run futuristic city in Senegal. He says he wants his city to resemble Wakanda, and in more ways than just its futuristic appearance. I want to see how they do that big bubble around the city. Then that'll be
right. Well, the first phase is expected to be completed by 2023, just 3 years down the road, and the entire city running on the Acoin crypto is expected to be completed by 2029. You know, wow. Acoin is, remember, it's based on Stellar. So I think that's, I mean, what a great use case for Stellar. The pictures in this article on Bitcoin.com of what Acoin City could look like. You need to go check this out. Go to our show notes, badco.in/437, and look at these futuristic pictures. Look at the building there in the middle with the kind of wavy glass.
This looks kind of like a blobby thing. Like it's okay to have cool, funky buildings, but like rectangles are pretty good buildings too. I don't know, like that one looks super leany. I don't know. That's like a big, it looks like the Millennial Ball that's in Chicago, and that's, I'm going to live in that. Like
rectangles are pretty good buildings too. That's,
yeah. I mean, because there's not one rectangle building on this picture here. It's all like blobules.
It's shapy. Some of the
shapy
buildings
blobules
look like roller coasters. Don't they? They look whoa!
Akon City where the buildings are really weird and trippy.
Ripple is in the news again here. Mohammed Musharraf writes that Ripple aims to become the Amazon of the cryptocurrency world. They're looking for new use cases, and love it or hate it, you know, even though it's very centralized and there's all kinds of issues around it, they still are a top crypto, and they are making moves. Up to now, they've really just worked with banks and funded millions to blockchain and crypto startups, but now they are revising their growth strategy. Quote from Brad Garlinghouse is, Amazon started as a bookseller and just sold books. We happen to have started with payments. 2 years from now, you're going to find that Ripple is to payments as Amazon was to books. That is some bold talk right there. And, you know, it might be time for us to have Mr. Garlinghouse back on the show, Trav, because it's been about 2.5 years and much has happened.
Yeah, I want to know why he said that, because one of the reasons why Amazon was so successful was that one-click purchase patent that they have. You notice a whole lot of other, it would be awesome if a lot more e-commerce businesses had that, but they don't, because Amazon has the patent on that one-click thing. Well, Bezos wanted to make it so easy for people to buy something. You can go click and buy, and it's in your cart and ready to go. And yeah, I think it's not awesome that other businesses can't use that feature.
Well, he's saying that they're planning on going big on promoting the creation of new applications on the Ripple network. So they want to create some developer tools so that it's easy for people to make blockchain-based applications. And when you empower developers with tools, then they are the ones that build the use cases around it. Whereas Amazon did it themselves, right? So there's definitely a difference there.
You know, if you incentivize developers with some crypto and then they have a stake in it and they're interested in it, and then they're going to want to build it because they want their crypto to grow, that's when developers really get active and really excited about stuff. So I don't know. I know that, you know, Ripple has a ton of XRP sitting back in its vaults, which is one of the reasons that some people get scared off of Ripple, because it's basically kind of a centralized thing that just Ripple owns. And yeah, I think it'd be great to have Brad back on there. He went to the same university I did, so rock chalk, Mr. Brad Garlinghouse.
Oh, there you go. A little Jayhawk action. This piece from Gareth Jenkinson on Cointelegraph is titled "Blockchain Phones and Bitcoin Watches: Revisiting the Crypto Tech hype. You know, there's a lot of talk about the Internet of Things, and again, the image here. I've got it. I want to know what the artist was thinking, because there's this woman sitting on the sofa, and she's got her smartphone in her hand. There's a TV on the wall behind her. There appears to be like a Roomba vacuuming, and there's all of these lines that are connecting dots, very high techy, but it's not just going from her smartphone to her TV. It's like going to a point on the wall and then another point on the wall. It's like you're not controlling the wall.
I'm pretty sure they've run out of ideas at this point. And I've had that problem before, and I actually made a joke about it. I was in a hotel room, and the TV, so literally there's a couch on the wall, and on that wall was the TV, and that was pretty much the only thing you could sit in. And I'm like, why in the hell is the TV on that wall instead of this wall or that wall? Why I gotta turn around, sit on the couch, and then like turn around and be like, look at this TV show? Or maybe you gotta hold your phone up, and so selfie mode so you can look at the TV behind you. That's ridiculous.
I want to try out a blockchain smartphone, Mr. Travis, right? The Galaxy S10 is the one that people know about the most, because you can store your crypto private keys, which people are calling Samsung Knox after Fort Knox. And they support over 30 different cryptos, but there's others as well. And I have yet to play with a blockchain phone.
Yeah, HTC has its own blockchain phone, the Exodus, that launched in March 2019. That was originally only for pre-purchase using crypto, but it also became available. So there's also Samsung launched the Clayton phone, which is a variant of the Galaxy Note 10. I just don't like Android devices, really. I mean, Android kind of bugs me. I really wish that there was an additional one. Now, there was Syrian Labs that were the first one to launch that with the Finny back in 2018. But I need an alternative mobile operating system that's not Apple or Google or a Chinese company that I don't trust. Like, I need an open source blockchain, something that's like, I don't know. It's just hard.
The market will respond to that, and it will come. There's no question about that. So, there's also Swiss watchmakers that are making timepieces inspired by Bitcoin. In fact, we saw, where was it? It was at Mike Tyson's mansion, right? They had World Crypticon, I think. There was a watch vendor. I don't know if it was the one that's listed here in this article, Hublot, or not, but the Swiss, it was Frank Muller. That was it. It was Frank Muller watches. Remember, we got to look at those things that were.
Yeah, they're very fancy. I bought 14 of them for me and my Tigers, and I wear it all the time. I forgot how to charge it. I lost my keys already, but
the Muller in crypto line now features different styles for men and women with price tags ranging from $20,000 to $65,000. The watches are made of various luxury metals, including gold, diamond, and carbon fiber. I'm
a big fan of the diamond metal.
Their deep cold storage wallet cannot be hacked and uses offline generated, non-deterministic, true random number generated. So, I mean, I guess you could wear it on your wrist, but I'm not one for bling to begin with. I'm not one for showy jewelry. I don't wear jewelry at all. I'm not one for showy cars. I feel like it's fine if you're a car person and you like Lambos and, Ferraris. They're fun. It was fun driving it up and down the strip when we were there for World Crypticon, but I couldn't see owning one. That's just me. No judgment on those who do. I just don't want to draw attention to myself by being super showy.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had a super fancy car. I mean, I got a Kia, and it's like, I'm good with it. I like it. It's a nice style. It's comfortable. Cops don't bug me. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but if I wanted to get a badass car, it's going to be a badass old school muscle car. Just, oh man. So my son's looking for a car right now.
Mustang, you know that.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet. You're like, I don't like flashy cars, but I got a sweet ass Mustang.
My Mustang costs less than the average SUV. I mean,
right. That's a great car. I remember when you got it. But we were in this Ford dealership, and there was a 1957 Ford Thunderbird convertible that is just so pristine and badass. And I was like, oh man, how much is that? Oh, $120,000. Like, damn. I was like, wow, that's a lot, but it's really sweet. That car is badass. Sweet ass convertible like that. That's going to turn heads. I don't care about that though. I was like, I just want a badass muscle car someday. I probably like a Challenger or something, 69, 70.
You know, when I was shopping for cars, the first time that I went to look for a sports car, I looked at Fords, of course, the Mustang. I looked at the Dodge Challenger, and I looked at the what's the Chevy one?
Camaro?
The Camaro, yes. No, not the Camaro. The other one's like a Batmobile.
Oh, the Corvette?
No, maybe it was I don't even remember. Anyway, I tried them all, and the Challenger actually felt, I don't know, more plastic to me. And I just really pissed off some Dodge. What? Oh, the Challenger.
No, I'm talking like 1970 Challenger.
Oh yeah, the old ones. So my Ford Mustang is a 2015, and I drive so little that it's going to be 6 years old, and my last payment will be the end of November, and it's got less than 12,000 miles on it.
That's nice. You'll be able to sell that for a pretty penny then.
Yeah,
with such a low.
You know what else sold for a pretty penny? Check out this segue. Paris Hilton is in the news, and she made a drawing of her cat. It's a digital painting of her cat called Munchkin, and it was auctioned off on a Ethereum-based platform called Cryptograph, which I'm not familiar with. It sold for 40 ETH, which is about $17,000.
Oh my gosh!
In your speech,
so there's a link to her tweet that says, "Today I'm auctioning off my cryptograph of Munchkin to benefit 3 amazing charities. The auction is live now for the next 72 hours." And she's actually drawing it on her iPad as she goes, and that becomes the NFT. And I mean, it's got starry eyes and it's drawing her cat. Wow. Okay. Cryptograph.co was where it is.
You know what? It brings NFTs into the news, and sure. I'm fine with that.
It is.
It's fine.
Her cat is really cute. She's sitting there playing around.
I think that was a really good impersonation you did of her
Thank you. Oh my God. So hot.
Drawing my cat. Like, stop it, you.
That cat NFT she made, so hot.
That's like a real crypto kitty right there. Our last story for the week is about social media. And of course, we talk about all the time how censorship is a problem and privacy is a problem and owning your content is a problem. There's a number of sites out there. And this is a new one that I have not heard of before called Ignite. And it is a decentralized microblogging platform. And they're looking for blockchain to be a solution against state-sponsored censorship because there's way too much of it today. Have you heard of this one yet, Trev?
Well, you know what? I have not, but breaking news, we got a new podcast called Ignite News.
So you can actually create an account here, and I'm going to do it when we're done. There's a beta. It's beta.ignite.so. And I like to try out all of these. What's really interesting, Travis, is today we just interviewed Salah Zalatimo, the CEO of Voice.com, and for the EOS Voice News. That podcast is actually up now. You can go check out the video of it on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Bad Crypto Podcast, or just go to your podcast player and look for EOS Voice News. They're making some real headway there, and I'm liking the direction they're going. It's moving slowly, but it's moving methodically. And I don't see them making any, big mistakes. I see them making these slow adjustments because they're in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm. So very true. And it says this, it's unblockable. You cannot ban Ignite as long as you can't ban blockchain itself. There's no moderation or user bans. Data is stored forever on the distributed data storage. Anonymous authentication through blockchain. And as I see here on the very first post, it's somebody there saying something about a meme about LGBT. It says, "Suck my rainbow." Right. So it's like there's definitely no moderation going on here by scrolling down. It's like, I think in some cases, some moderation is good because, even when we have our own Zoom calls, like we had our hero report and then somebody jumped into Zoom and was drawing penises on the background with the annotations on. So Like, there's always trolls out there that are going to try to ruin everything.
They weren't even anatomically correct. I mean, it was disproportionate.
Yeah.
It just seemed, like it wasn't even legit. So I don't know.
Big fail on the penis drawing today, folks. I'm just saying, there's got to be some way to at least curate the content better, so I don't have to see stupid stuff. You know what I mean?
Right, and that is a problem, right? If a certain side, whatever side they're on, feels like they are being untreated, like they're being treated unfairly, and they go elsewhere, well, it only makes sense that you're going to see, predominantly their views on a different platform. And so then they can easily, as a mainstream, dismiss it and say, oh, well, that's just a place for a left wing, or that's just a place for a right wing. Well, yes, because you've chased them off of your platform. And so that makes perfect sense. Can't we all just get along?
I wish we could. It would be nice if we could get along, but it seems that in a lot of times it does not seem to work that way. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and people take a lot of stuff to heart. And, social media is really good at getting people riled up. I was actually watching a band documentary earlier today, or actually it was last night. I watched this band documentary talking about how there's a lot of that stuff is they try to get people to get all freaked out on and divided on social media. It's one of the mechanisms of it. It's really, really helpful in their cause to move forward narratives and agendas.
Anger. Well, there's one more piece of good news, gang, and that is that NFT Day 2020 is just a little more than a week away. Lots of you have gone and purchased your tickets. If you go to nftday.com, we're going to be hosting it, and we're going to have William from Wax. We're going to have Tobin from Tops. William from Wax and Tobin from Tops. I like that.
That's great. That's really solid right there.
Yeah. And a lot of other speakers talking about the future of digital collectibles. Gang, we are moving very quickly from having dabbled with NFTs to having released a very successful non-fungible token digital collectible product to we are about to really start leading the way in this space. No joke. The innovations that are coming, the things that we're doing already are leading the pack, and we really want you guys to come with us. Come see what we're doing. Come participate. Come play. Help to onboard family and friends that you want to learn about this digital blockchain space, because making money we've done. And it's great to make money. It's good to be able to pay your bills. It's nice to say, hey, this is a successful business. But we are about pioneering this space and impacting it in a positive way. And we want to bring as much of Bad Cryptopia with us as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to toot our own horns, but we're pretty amazing. No. I just want to say, you know what? It's fun. It's really cool. It's a really fun, cool technology that we're having fun playing with. It's not work to us. We're really enjoying the process, and the community is unbelievable. That's the thing that excites me the most, is how much happiness we bring our community. You know what I mean?
So much happiness.
I love that. They're having fun with it, and we're doing new stuff as we can to help to bring them joy and delight, and that's in the process. I think it's because we got these marketing minds. Like, we've done a lot of stuff in a lot of different areas, and so it's like we're able to connect the dots because of all these different skills that we've stacked, and it's like we can see how other things can apply to this and repurpose stuff. I think NFTs are going to be just ginormous, folks, and if you haven't jumped on to understand it yet, OpenSea.io has a great NFT Bible on non-fungible tokens. Just type in NFT Bible on your favorite search engine, and you'll see there's an OpenSea. It's a really big post, but that'll really help you sort of understand what's going on, and I think that it's something you should pay attention to.
NFTday.com. It's free, but if you buy the VIP tickets, you get all kinds of NFTs, and a lot of them are going to be in your goodie bag. So we recommend that you do that. And, as long as you're out there, do good and stay bad.
Who's bad?
The Bad Crypto Podcast is a production of Bad Crypto LLC. The content of the show, the videos, and the website is provided for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. It's not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice of any kind. You shouldn't make any decisions as to finances, investing, trading, or anything else based on this information without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional financial advisor. Please understand that the trading of Bitcoins and alternative cryptocurrencies have potential risks involved. Anyone wishing to invest in any of the currencies or tokens mentioned on this podcast should first seek their own independent professional financial advisor. I'm doing the pirates hard on my voice there, matey. For episode number 437 of the Bad Crypto. This is hard on my voice.